Welcome back. Our next guest makes eating kosher, even for those of us who are not ultra-religious. Paula Scheuer is an American chef, author of several cookbooks and then some, and she's here to talk about her new book, The Healthy Jewish Kitchen. Hello, hello.
Hi, Emily. Great to be here.
Nice to meet you, too. First of all, I love what you do because, I think people that grow up secular are, taught to believe that kosher food is, from the old country and, what your Yiddish grandmother did. But, besides, the religious, spiritual reason behind it, it can actually be good as well.
And good for you
and
as
good
well.
for you as well.
So I think for years, people would make the same recipes of their mothers and grandmothers because they wanted that connection to that part of our history. And they also wanted to pass on to their children those traditions as well. But some of those food traditions, they're just not good for us. We know so much now about nutrition that it's hard to say, well, I'm going to eat healthy, but then when we make Rosh Hashanah food, it's going to be the heaviest, too much salt, too much sugar in our meat dishes. So what I've tried to do is take these traditional recipes and in a way save them, make them healthier, make them lighter without losing the taste.
And modern. It's nice to kind of diversify the standard, borscht and gefilte fish and all of this stuff.
You can't give your kids avocado toast and cauliflower rice for dinner all the time. Sometimes you have to give them rugelach and you have to give them splinces and save these traditions so that they know what they are, otherwise that they're lost.
Right. So how do you come about, I know your background is, you said you were a lawyer, but then you went to pastry chef school in Paris. So how did this happen? Were you always just liking to bake?
I love to bake since my Easy Bake Oven when I was 5. Since I used to sit
I could make Toll House chocolate chip cookies.
That is extremely important life skill. And I would sit at my grandmother's house and watch her measure with her hands. And then I started cooking, all through high school and college and law school. And then I had the chance to study pastry in Paris for fun. But then I started a catering business and started writing books. And it was really fun because the first thing I did is I took French pastry recipes and made them dairy-free, parve, so kosher people and me could have them with our Shabbat dinner. And then I moved on to more and more desserts. But the reality is, making all these wonderful desserts, I really had to start eating lighter. Can you imagine having 80 desserts in your kitchen, photographing a cookbook? And I have 4 kids, and even they couldn't finish all of those desserts.
So what did you bring us today? Two fantastic, completely unrelated.
Right. All right.
But I'm happy about the
which is why we're
the brown one.
We're going to start with dessert first. So this
is let's do it.
Okay, so this cake has a secret ingredient, and I think I'm going to ask you to taste it, and then I'm going to tell you what's in it. But I promise you...
Secret ingredient. You're asking someone who is not good in the kitchen, so let's see.
That's okay, but good is good.
Coconut.
Okay, good. It's gluten-free.
You can't tell.
It has cooked quinoa in the batter.
Quinoa?
Quinoa. You can eat this on Pesach. It's Passover gluten-free. It has cooked quinoa that's pureed with a bunch of cake ingredients, eggs, and sugar.
How do you cook the quinoa without it and have it still be moist?
So you puree it in a food processor. So this recipe was featured by the Food 52 blog in the U.S. and 50,000 people watched this video. And because it's gluten-free, more people can love this cake. And
maybe this is the way I'll get my kids to eat quinoa because they love chocolate.
Nobody can guess.
And Safta makes quinoa. She's a Moroccan, so we have Shabbat dinner every Friday.
Right, so this is just great. And so the other thing that I brought here was my mango coleslaw.
Oh!
Growing up in New York, coleslaw was everywhere, every bris, every
And I never ate it. It was the one thing you go to a deli with the pickles, and I was afraid to touch it.
And you sit down, they give it to you drowning in mayonnaise. So I thought, how could I reimagine that? Because what I did in this book was take recipes from my childhood, like classic chocolate cake and coleslaw, and reimagine them with natural ingredients, no margarine.
All right, so give me a taste. We have a minute. So tell me what's in it.
It's got pureed mango and jalapeno and lemon or lime juice and cilantro, and it's a so it's a creamy recipe.
Yeah, and it's like a healthy. It looks like a cabbage, cabbage salad.
So I have this book. I have 3 other cookbooks which people can find on Amazon. People can find me, and I have lots of recipes on thekosherbaker.com where since I'm not writing another book yet, I'm putting all the recipes on.
So where can people get your book?
So people can find my books on Amazon.com and Book Depository, and working with Steinmatsky to get the newest book in them. So in there,
you'll be here in Israel.
I'm working on that right now. They have my last 2 books.
Is it in Hebrew yet, or you're working on that?
It's not in Hebrew, but the recipes are in metric because I made sure that everybody in the world could enjoy this.
Yeah, it's not exactly. We got to think about liters and gallons and all this stuff.
I have no problem with metric. It's so much easier.
Thank you so much. It was really great to meet you. You're fun.
Thank you so much.